All right. Are you ready? Are we get started? Okay. So first, I want to show you something. So this is an announcement. Class announcement. And I assume all of you are familiar with this, right? And I just posted an announcement. Okay, that is the slides for today's lecture. So if you have laptop on your own desk, you can download the slides. So I think it will help you to follow our lecture. Okay, and then let's go back to our. Okay. And so let's get started. So today I am going to introduce myself and introduce computer vision and what is the requirement and your homework term project. And today, so basically I will cover a little camera model, light and color. This kind of knowledge is in today's intro because we have 3 hours. Yeah. First of all, so this is my experience. In the beginning, I was a mathematical student, and then I worked in a company in the Hsinchu Science and Industrial Park. Then I went to NTU to join a master program, and I went to Academia Sinica as a research assistant. I went to another company in Hsinchu Science and Industrial Park. Then I went to Academia Sinica again as a research assistant. Then I went to UCSF to join a PhD program. Then I went to the Iowa Center at the National University as a postdoc researcher. And then I come here. So, okay, so I would be very glad to help you learn knowledge of computer vision. So, but however, I think you are very smart, and you can find that there are some gaps between those times. Okay, so in the gaps, what I started is, there are 2 gaps. I started stock investing. And there is another gap for 1 year. I studied the histories and the cultures of the 3 countries nearby close to Taiwan. So my first industry job is at PixArt. So it is an IC design house for CMOS image camera. So what? So this is the can I turn on the light? Okay, fine. So this is the CMOS image sensor. It is used to capture light and convert the light signal into digital signal. And where can we use the piece of electronic devices? For example, this is a webcam, and there is a CMOS image sensor inside. And this is the Joy-Con of Switch, if you have experience of the Nintendo Switch. So there is a camera, and there is a camera very tiny in the Joy-Con. I remember it should be in the left Joy-Con for a pair of Joy-Con controller. And PixArt is the manufacturer of the CMOS sensor in Joy-Con. And PixArt also is a manufacturer of another Nintendo video game controller Switch. Wii. If you have used the Wii remote before, so there is a sensor in the head of the controller. So it is also created by itself. And the mouses. Okay, so this is all the mouses. I think it is popular. It was popular maybe 20 years ago, and you can still see there is a ball under the mouse. And then when picks up, created many CMOS image sensor for optical mouse. So this is all. It will send even infrared or laser signal and reflects on the surface to the CMOS image sensor. Then the sensor can sense which is the movement of the mouse. So it will become optical mouse. So there are many advantages of using an optical mouse rather than a ball-based mouse. First, it can be very accurate because there are 3 holes in the old mouse. So once you move the mouse, the 3 holes will receive the signal of which is the rolling side. But if you use an optical sensor, then you no longer need the 3 holes inside a mouse, so it will be accurate. And there is another benefit. It is easier to keep the mouse clean because if you use the ball-based mouse, once you use it for fire, you need to take the ball out and clean the wheels. Otherwise, you will move. Even my mouse is moving, my cursor is not moving, so then will be fast. And this is the sensor. The CMOS sensor also can be used in cars. So this is the steering wheel, and there is a sensor here. Once you use your finger to move the left and right, up and or down, the sensor can know the movement of your finger. Then it can be used to control, for example, video playing or adjust the volume of the video. So it will help the drivers say don't be restricted because you don't need to take your hand off the steer to touch any button or touch screen to control the video playing system. You just use your finger, so it is a convenient tool. When I was in when I was a master student, I learned about the knowledge of color and the multispectrum. So color, I think most of you familiar with the spectrum. Right? So what is a multispectrum camera? For most of consumer camera, we only record the 3 channels of color. It is usually red, green, and blue. But however, are they sufficient? So it depends on your test. If you want to just, for example, make a record for your document, I think it's enough. But however, if you want to very accurate certain for the color of the car, or if you want to reproduce some treasures, then you need a very, very accurate description of the color. So 3 channels of color are not sufficient. So there is a multi-spectrum camera. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It depends on the design of the camera. So once you can record many channels of the camera, it is easier for you to reproduce painting or sculpture or the ancient art, etc. And you can measure your replica is close enough or similar enough to the original masterpieces. And when I worked in another industry company, Airtech, it is a manufacturer of the digital cameras, in particular the pocket camera. Okay. So you can see camera, there are many different levels of cameras, the high-end, or the consumer, or the very, to say, small camera. For example, the camera in your cell phone is very, very tiny. So this company, they are the first company in Taiwan who can develop its own image processing chip. So that's their advantage to make digital camera. But however, their image processing chip was not as well as the first layer manufacturer like Nikon or Canon or Sony. So this company couldn't compete with those first the best company for the high-end camera. So they choose to make the consumer level camera. So that is so basic. So who they are the manufacturer for certain brands. We call Kodak and Fujifilm. Really, you see, Kodak and Fujifilm, the two companies, they are, so to say, their specificity are film. If you still know what is film, okay, film is the plastic material used in the old camera. It can sense the light and generate images through certain process. And now it's very difficult to find them because most of us use digital camera for maybe more than 10 years, 20 years, more than 20 years maybe. Okay. And the company also has a very strong development team. So the company is the first company in the world that developed the dual camera system for cell phone. So HTC M81 is the first camera in the world that has a pair of cameras. It can sense the depths of the scene. So it can create some special effect for some of the virtual depths. And from 2008 to 2009, I was a research assistant in Academia Sinica, and my research topic is alpha mating. Alpha mating means, so let's see this example. This is the input image or given image. I write it here input, and you can see there foreground object and a background. So the foreground object is the bed, and the background is the window or something. Okay. My goal is to separate the foreground object and the background and determine the transparency between of the two objects. So, if I can accurately estimate, so F means foreground and B means background. The A means the alpha channel. It means the transparency. And the I means identical metric. So if I can successfully set the foreground and the background, then I can replace the background with something I want. For example, this one, this is the, if I this is the result. I replace the background to let's see this for many something plus. For example, this is closing, and this is also transparent. So I should say partially transparent. So once I can successfully estimate the program and this transparent, I can replace it with another background. So I think this is so why we call this computer vision? Because given an image, I need to understand or estimate what is the content of the image. And once I can teach a computer to know it, then I can use the information to do other things, to finish other tasks. I went to UT in California, and I was also a summer intern in Google, Las Vegas, and Siemens Research in New Jersey. In my PhD program, my starting topic is super resolution. Super resolution means given a low resolution image, I want to create a high resolution image. So the problem is ear post. Ear post means how do you know the data or information in the high resolution image? You don't have it. So you need to create it. So and how to create it? You have any kind of method. If you can effectively create some high resolution data, so there are many ways to do it, to try. For example, I can use the patch similarity to create a high resolution. What does mean patch similarity? It means if I create an image parameter, do you know what is image parameter? Not yet? Okay, right? So image parameter means I given an image, then I can slightly reduce it, create a smaller image. And then I can further reduce it, create a smaller image. Then, okay, I search for similar patches from this to this. For example, if I found they are similar, then I can use the relationship from this patch to its patch in the original image, and then copy the patch to here. I assume the patch in the higher resolution image will keep the same relation. So that is a way to create a high resolution image. And another studies is I know the image includes a human face, then I can explore other priors to create the high resolution data. In this case, okay, this is my dataset. I have a very huge dataset. The dataset contains images from more than 300 people from different directions. Not only at the right frontal, it's also the side or the up and the bottom, up and down angles. Okay, so this low resolution image. The first, I should say, the most important content is the facial components. The eyes, mouth, nose, and eyebrow of the people, the person. So I first use a facial component detector to find those regions, and then I search for the low resolution facial component, which is the most similar one in the image data set. And then I found, okay, I found this guy, he has a pair of eyes very similar to the ones in the input image. Then, but the image is high resolution. So I can copy I copy the eyes from the high resolution one from another person, a person, and then copy its high frequency signals to be used in the low resolution one. Then from a low resolution image, human faces image, and I borrow those facial components from other people to create a high resolution face image. So you can see at least there are two different methods to create a high resolution images. Okay, then for human faces, this is a domain-specific text. But how about for general images? For general images, there may be photos, scenes, or any pictures taken by a camera. So I developed another images which can be used for any kind of image. It means I have a bunch of a lot of images, and I try to categorize them into different places. For example, some of them are ages, some of them are plant patches, and some of them have certain patterns, for example, spark or something else. Then I calculate the mean of those classes to learn more than a lot of mapping function from low resolution patches to high resolution patches. And then given a low resolution input image, I crop a patch, and then I search for all of my mapping functions to find the most similar one, and then create a high resolution patch. And then I pass the patch into its target image. So it can be used for any kind of images. So this is my result. So PSNR and SSN are two metrics to evaluate the quality of the generated high resolution images. I can generate a result as well as an existing method. It was a state-of-the-art at the year. However, my method runs much faster than this. This method needs 10 minutes to generate an image, but mine only needs 14 seconds. So that is the improvement of the state-of-the-art. Yeah. I worked as a summer intern in Siemens Corporation in research. So Siemens is a German company, and the company makes a lot of X-ray machines. So they have a project to develop the next generation X-ray machine. So what do they need to develop the next generation X-ray? Because if you can reduce the dose of the X-ray, it can improve the patient's health. So how to do it? There is a way to, okay, for an X-ray machine, this is the grid. Okay, because X-ray, once X-ray goes through human body, there is a very obvious diffraction. So that is one. So if we there is a grid. The grid is used to keep the X-ray in the only prefer on certain directions of X-ray, so that it can reduce the effect of diffraction. And my result, okay, So you can see this is the grid. There's a lot of parallel lengths. So they are developing a new shape of the grid. This looks like there are a lot of hexagon on the but the side effect is there will be a lot of shadows on the generative image. How to remove those shadows? So that is my research topic. And let's take a look. A few years ago, I started the alpha-mating problem, and I used alpha-mating for this project. And it certainly reduced the shadow on the image. And Siemens filed a patent for this method. Then I started another question. It means, as you see here, okay, in 2013, there are two metrics widely used for evaluate the image quality for superimposition. This PSNR and SIM. But however, there was a question: are they good enough? So that is my question. Are they really reflect our human perceptions? Because the two metrics are very simple. So my research is, okay, I asked a lot. I do human subjective study. I asked my classmates and invited as many students as possible. And give them questionnaire. Please see the two pictures, and which one do you feel is better? Okay, so then I collected a lot of data, and I can measure which method. So, I should say, the figure is too small. So for a row, that is a metric. So this is PSNR, and then this is SIM. And then there are 4 additional metrics. And once I have the data, I can show under the matrix how much is it correlated to the human subjective scores. Well, in 2017, I extended my study for this. Okay, so I do this study in 2013, and 4 years later, I extended it to another question. So, because we have many JPEG images, right? And JPEG images are compressed, and the quality will be worsened if you set a very high conversion rate. So under different conversion rate, how to reconstruct them. This is so basically the method is the same, but we discuss one more thing. So I submitted to journal papers because if I want to, because in the computer vision field, usually people pay attention to conference paper because conference paper comes every year or twice or 3 times per year. So if you want to know the latest development of computer vision, then you read conference papers. But however, for journal papers, the editors of journal papers want a very solid study. Because for conference papers, they may contain many, there are many questions unanswered. They just show what our method can do. So, but there are still journals in the computer vision, and their editors will carefully check every points of a question. So if you can let me, I should say, match their criteria, they will publish your paper. But you need some new information or new material. Okay, so that I extend my I should say my start in 2013 and published in 2019. Again, this is another extension. So from I did it in 2014, right? And there is a co-author, I mean the second author. Okay. He extended the study from, okay, we ask a lot of human subjects to how do you feel about it. So we need a reference image, the original one and the created high resolution one. So he tries to develop a method. You no longer need reference image. So there is no reference method to evaluate the quality of images. And he published it in another journal paper. 2018, one of one student, at that time I was working at National Taiwan University, the IELTS Center, and there was a student, he is interested in game. So in 2018, there is a method called Star Game. It wants to slightly revise the architecture of Star Game and to improve the quality. So I helped him to say, finish the research project and published in a conference. In 2019, the story was similar. There was another student. He was interested in using neural networks to recognize human facial recognition unit. Okay, so you know human expressions, right? Smile, upset, crying, etc. Okay, this is our natural language to describe a human expression. But in terms of, I should say, there are many muscles on our faces, and in the level of muscles, how do you recognize or detect those movements of those muscles? That is in facial action unit. Okay, so there is some example. For example, Obama's so the muscle on his mouth is contracted, so his cheek will be pulled upward. Okay, so this is AU7 or something. Okay, and he closed his eyes, so the muscles of at the corner of the eyes also contracts. So that is AU48. So those researchers, they labeled a lot of action units on human faces, and then we try to develop neural networks. Given an image, we can know whether what action unit occur on the image. And so what is the idea of the used by a student? He found, okay, for different people, some people, they, although they doesn't have certain action unit, for example, for this one, he doesn't, his mouth or his lips was naturally or inherently downward, although he didn't have the action unit. So he tried to explore the property to develop a subject-based neural network. It can learn from, okay, it's once he know, oh, this is the neutral face of the person, and then the neural should emphasize certain, okay, should find what is the actual differences from the neural face and the actual expressions. And then I worked for a robot. So this was a robot sold by ASUS. ASUS is a Taiwanese manufacturer of famous for their laptop. And in that year, they developed a robot, and they kindly left our center to use the robot. So I used the robot to develop an algorithm for a project. The project, if I have a robot at home, and there are some elderly living alone, can we use the robot to help them? Okay, so look, my idea was, okay, I try to train the robot so that the robot can follow the old citizen. And then I use the robot camera to make a video recording for the elder citizen for the whole day, say 16 hours. And 16 hours is very long. Okay, for the older citizens, children, they don't have so much time to watch the whole length of video. So I use a video summarization method to prep what is the most important 6 or 8 images within the 16 hours, or what is the most significant images within the time. Okay, so this is a complex project because I need to use certain computer vision technologies, post-estimation, human detection, and video summarizations. And then finally, okay, this is my result. And this is my findings. But all the systems at home, they usually spend a lot of time watching TV. So they will keep unmoved for a long time. And in this period, I just need one image. One image is enough because they can watch the television for 3 hours. Okay. In this year, I also helped another student. She wants to develop a game to create Chinese calligraphy characters. So, I have to. I asked her a question. Because Chinese characters are structured. You mean structure? Oh, sorry. There are some of you who may not be familiar with Chinese characters. So, what is the structure means? If you see the two characters, they have the same left side. Okay. And if you see the two characters, the right part and the bottom part are very similar. So this is what I mean. Chinese characters are structured. So I asked her, can you explore the information? Because, okay, she told me, yes, there is a database already available already for every Chinese character. There has a code to describe the structure of Chinese character. Oh, so it helped her to create a game. The game can generate a better character. For example, okay, this is the ground truth. I mean, those characters are really the artwork for some calligraphers. And this is the input. So this is the input. And those characters are generated by existing results, and these are her results. So compare with those regions highlighted by the red flags, you can see from, for example, this and this, for example, this and this, her results are more elegant. And okay, 2 years later, actually, in that year, I also helped another student. He also wants to develop a game, but his tests are slightly different. His text is given an image. Okay, for example, given an image. His game, sorry, not game. His neural network wants to create a sentence to describe the image. So this is the image to text, a text. Okay? And his idea was, okay, if I can know there are some relationship between objects, for example, in this, for example, there is a door on the bed. So because he can use object recognition algorithm, it's okay. He can know there is a door and there is a bed and there is a shape. Okay, so that he can create sentences like there is door on the bed and there beside the bed there is a shape like this one. And okay, so there are some metrics to evaluate the generated sentences, and his result achieved the state of the art. So the paper was published in DoAI. DoAI is American Association for Artificial Intelligence. It is the top conference for the AI field. So if I can help any of you to publish papers in DoAI, well, I will be extremely glad. Okay, so let's talk about what is computer vision. Okay, so computer vision, simply, generally speaking, we want to develop some method to automatically understand the content of image or videos. So what can be used? Okay, if we have such technologies, we can use it to measure the real world, the 3D world from image data. Okay, so for example, this one. For the real-time stereo, means given the image, then I want to know which object is in the far east away and which is the close. And we can take many images and reconstruct the 3D structure. For example, every dot here is a camera, or is an image, and we can use all of those data to create it. So this is a fountain in Italy. Okay. And we can use it for tracking. For example, we given two images, we want to know where is the hand and where is the body and where is the head. So this is for tracking. And the second, we want to know what object, people, thing, or activities are in the image or video. Also, for you, you can easily understand what it is. This is a thing in the seashore, right, or on the beach. And there are many people, and there are some, you see sea, sky, trees, and buildings, and a lot of. So this looks like an amusing park or something else. But for a computer, how to know that? Okay. There are a lot of objects and what they are doing. So this is the text or long time study problem for computer vision. And third, computer vision, actually the community of computer vision, they developed the algorithm to mine, to search, to interact with visual data. And so they try to create a lot of data set, no matter videos or images. And then they can, for example, they can ask, okay, from those images, which image include a dog? And so if the, a good computer vision algorithm should retrieve some images that should they include dogs. And okay, that is very complicated because, for example, object image can be very small or can be very big. And for dogs, for example, there are I think maybe more than 100 types of dogs, and all of them are dogs. So how to effectively extract how to define a dog region? So computer vision is related to many different types of studies. And artificial intelligence, of course. So that's why? Because in the vision is a very important intelligence for human, or even for other animals. So of course, there's no question. Computer vision is part of the artificial intelligence. Computer vision doesn't cover artificial intelligence covers other studies, for example, language, or even play chess. It is also part of artificial intelligence. Or if you interact, play video games, the characters or the players, NPC players in those video games, they also look like or act as humans. They also use some artificial intelligence technologies. Computer vision is only for visual data. And machine learning, why machine learning is important? Because first, the field of computer vision has been studied for more than 50 years. And machine learning is also developed for more than 40 years. Once you have a machine, you want to teach the machine to do something. And the machine learning and computer vision, they get along. I think I should say machine learning become very important for computer vision in the past 11 years when neural networks was used. Actually, neural networks has been used for computer vision for more around 30 years. Okay, but recently, with the advance of computer, our computer become more and more powerful, and we have a lot of data, and we develop better algorithms. So, computer vision it explodes because the help of machine learning and cognitive science. Okay, let's remember there. All right, let's keep going now. And okay, so the question was, what's the difference between computer vision and the image processing? Who have any idea? Yeah, please.
In Chinese or English?
Of course, in English.
The major difference between image processing and computer vision is it will try to just process the data transfer, and computer vision should decide some action from picture.
Very good. Yeah, very good. That's a good answer. So in general speaking, image processing, your input is image, your output is also an image. But your computer vision, it may not. Your input is image or video, that's fine. But your output may not be image. For example, let's take a look here. Okay, so this is your input. But what is your output? Your output are a lot of labels. And okay, computer vision and the graphics. Many people confuse the two words. So who has the idea what's the difference between computer vision and the graphics? So we try again.
Graphic just drawing.
Yeah, good. Perfect. This is a good answer. So let's take a look. Okay. So graphics and computer, it is image. The relation is image and the model. Graphics means different model. You need to generate the images. For cartoon, for example, there are many cartoons today. Do you know Toy Stories? The very famous film, Toy Stories. You have a model. You need to generate images, a lot of images. And the computer vision means you have images. You need to generate the models. Okay, and let's take a few amusing photos. So take a look. So what do you see from these images? Okay, they look like four different unrelated blocks, right? But if you change the view angle, in fact, they are taken by the same thing. And again, so this, it looks like a block, right? But if we change the view angle, in fact, it's a part. This part is in France, Paris. Okay. Paris, so Paris. There are many amusing images. Big butterfly on the ground, the pizza tower. Okay, as you said, humans are remarkable good at vision. So from this image, you should, okay, who has the sense what the image is?
Four people are standing.
Yes, yes, perfect. So that's you have good vision. so this is an extremely low resolution image, but you still have a sense. Okay, there are four people in the image, and but it's not so simple. So take a look at the image. What do you see? So, any question here?
Yeah, you can see a dog walking with dog, but if you change the perspective, you can also somehow see a person that's trying to find his path.
Great, great. Do you have the same? Do you see the same thing? Okay. Do you see a person? Raise your hand. Okay. Do you see a dog? Raise your hand. Don't you see a dog? So for some people, don't you see this a dog? And let me show you. Okay. This is dog's tail. This left front leg, right, and this is the face of the dog.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, and for another example, what do you see from this image? Okay, please.
It's also a dog living on the ground.
Good. So, do you also see the dog? Raise your hand. Okay, so could you tell them for your classmates who didn't see the dog, where the dog is?
Well, it's in the middle is the base that's on the ground. There's like this dog ear thing, and then there is it's hard to explain without showing it.
I think the dog has bent his head and it's walking on the floor.
That's right, very good. So this is the dog head, and this is left from the leg, and this is the rear leg. This is the bottom or tail of the dog, and this is the back of the dog. So now do you see the dog? Okay, good. So vision, we have proven the vision is hard even for humans. Okay, so let's see. This code is computer vision and another human vision. So let's see what do we see and what does computer see. So we see this is okay. Some of you see this is a portrait. Okay, portrait of a man. Okay, but for computer see a lot of numbers. So let's computer see. And okay, human computer. We see a whole picture. Computer see a lot of numbers. Okay, so this is a chair, right? You have no doubt it's a chair. But all of them are chairs. For computer, you need to teach computer. They are chairs, but they look very, very different. So there's a difficulty for computer vision. And so vision is very complex. So in the figure, this is our brain. And I remember one third or 1/4 of our brain works for vision. So why there's a high ratio of our important and functional brain with the long time evolution, the vision system uses so much high percentage of our brain. Okay, because I should not say this because I should not say vision is important because there are many important functions for human being. For example, speaking. Do you see any other kind of animals who can speak like humans? Not yet. I don't know. I've never seen it. But vision, actually, vision is an important function for humans. I think this is not no one will argue for it. Okay. And there is very interesting theory about vision and evolution. So many years, 538 million years ago. So there is a period called Cambrian explosion. Do you know the Cambrian explosion? It means when we find a lot of fossils, okay, we found before 538 million years ago, there are very few kinds of animals. But in that moment, at the last period, suddenly there are a lot of different species occurred at the same time. How do you explain it? So this is a very interesting question, and there are a lot of different theories to explain it. And this book, the author, he provides a theory. He said that moment, actually, at that period, animals, they started to have the vision ability. Okay, so they try to eat Okay, so what the meaning of vision? Take a think. What the meaning? If you don't have the, if you lose your vision, what will happen? Or if you close your eyes, what will happen? You can still touch, right? You can still smell, and you can also listen, but without visions, what is the capability you lose? Okay, the answers. You lose the ability to sense objects or your prayers in a long distance. Okay, so the theory elegantly explained why 538 million years ago there is a species explosion. Okay, according to the evidence of fossils, this sounds correct because after this period, we found something. They have eyes. And once they have eyes, they can move faster to their preyers or escape from their preyers. So this is very interesting. Look, if very interesting, you can read it by yourself. Okay, so after 538 million years, you see there are a lot of different types of vision systems, and okay, this is ours. And let's see this. I think this is Jaga or cat or something else, and which is birds, and octopus, I don't know, and fire. Yeah, this is also interesting evolution book, and I read it. I really like this book. So you can, if you are interested, you can read it by yourself. Okay. So, however, that is so say animal vision, and let's take a look at computer vision. Okay, compared with 538 million years, computer vision is very young. Okay. In the literature, the first computer vision study was taken in 1966. So from here is in 60 years, more than 60 years. In the beginning, they try to interpret which block is up on another block, which is the clock, which is behind at the far, and then they try to interpret selecting for given image. They try to where the edge is. For example, for the building, the edge is very clear. But for a tree, how do you define the tree of an edge? If you set a very small threshold, you will get a lot of edges from the tree. But if you set a large threshold, okay, you only have the boundary of the tree. That is starting in 70s. And in 80s, okay, the 90s, 2000, okay, there are a lot of different research topics about the computer vision. Oh, by the way, I haven't talked about the textbook. Well, our textbook is free, available online, so you can easily download it. And I remember there is a section describing about the history of computer vision, and you can read it by yourself. Let's look at the trend. So from 2006 to 2023, see here. Let me say, what is see here? See here, it is a conference taken place annually in America, only in America. The conference only once was held outside of America. For other years, they all taken in America. And you can see the trend from 2006 to 2023. So the blue curve is the number of submission. And the red curve is the number of accepted papers. So it keep growing. It means there are more and more researchers. They join the computer vision community. The reason is simple because now our computer is much more powerful than the ones several years or decades ago. So we have the ability to solve many difficult problems, but they can't. And then we have data. Yes. I think. Okay. I should say, when they still use film to take picture, it's very expensive. But now we have digital camera. We no longer need the film, and we store the image data digitally. It also reduces the cost. And in the beginning, so now it is very easy and cheap to gather a lot of image and video data. So there are the reasons to cut the cost in the computational resources. Another is application. Because now computer vision can do a lot of things, and I will show them later. Okay, and okay. In this year, see this is the list for CVR 23 sponsors. You can find many big companies on the slide. Okay. So for example, what you can see, this is Apple, and Google is here, and Tesla is here, and TikTok, Adobe, Meta, Facebook is here, Qualcomm, and Amazon is also here. So do you find where Microsoft is? Microsoft. It's good. Why Microsoft didn't support the CPI? I don't know. This should be something. Okay, no. Okay. I want to say is because computer vision has a lot of applications, so there are a lot of big companies or new companies. They want to make money or they want to get support from computer vision. So it is also good for you because you may find your future job among the list. Okay, you are interested in work for them and make money for yourself. Computer vision is, I should say, it is a field. You can see the future. Okay, and then this is different categories for CVR 23 papers accepted. Okay, so let's take a look. So the left part is the number of submissions, and the right part is the number of accepted for 3D from multi-view and sensors. So this is the hottest topic this year, and it changes every year. Several years ago, a lot of papers are trying to develop games, and furthermore, 10 years ago, there are a lot of methods try to develop the neural networks, in particular object detection, etc. So when you read our textbook, and there is a very interesting graph. Okay, this is a timeline from 1960 to 2022. Okay, the hot topic every year. So I want to show you a video slide about what. Okay, let me take a look. First, can I see it? Okay, play. Play. No, I cannot play it. Okay. Ooh. So what should I do? Okay. I have no idea. Okay, take a look.
In this video, we will introduce our work in 3D cinematography from a single image. Given a single still image, our goal is to animate the scene and simultaneously enable camera motion. This will bring many still images to life and provide a drastically vivid experience. To this end, we propose a novel framework that jointly learns to solve the task of image animation and novel view synthesis in 3D space. Our framework comprises a motion estimation module, 3D scene representation module, and a point cloud animation and rendering module. With our method, we managed to create 3D cinemagraphs that allow both plausible animation of the scene and camera movements. Now, let's delve into the specifics of our work. The number of pictures taken around the world every day is skyrocketing because of the ever-improving quality of smartphone cameras. However, with the rise of online video sharing platforms such as YouTube and TikTok, people have grown accustomed to watching videos rather than static photos. What if we can animate those still images? Since 2011, these living images, termed cinemagraphs, have already been created and gained rapid popularity online. However, they usually entail a video as input and fail to deliver an immersive sense of 3D to audiences. We are therefore motivated to explore ways of animating the photos and moving around the cameras at the same time from a single image. Single image animation methods manage to produce a realistic animated video from a single image, but they usually operate in 2D space, and therefore they cannot create camera movement effects. Single-shot novel view synthesis approaches exhibit the potential for generating novel camera trajectories of the scene from a single image. Nonetheless, these methods usually hypothesize that the observed scene is static without moving elements. We wish to make the first step towards 3D cinematography that allows both realistic animation of the scene and camera motions with compelling parallax effects from a single image. Directly combining existing state-of-the-art solutions of single-image animation and novel view synthesis yields visual artifacts for inconsistent animation. To this end, we propose a novel framework that jointly learns to solve the task of image animation and novel view synthesis in 3D space. Given a single still image as input, we first predict a dense depth map. To represent the scene in 3D space, we separate the input image into several layers according to depth discontinuities and apply context-aware painting. We then use a 2D feature extractor to encode 2D feature maps for each in-painted LDI color layer. Subsequently, we lift feature LDIs into 3D space using corresponding depth values to obtain a feature point cloud. To animate the scene, we estimate a 2D motion field from the input image. We then apply Euler integration to generate forward and backward displacement fields and augment them with estimated depth values to obtain 3D scene flow fields. Next, we bidirectionally displace the feature point cloud as per the scene flow. We then separately project them into target image planes to obtain feature maps. Finally, we blend them together and pass the result through our image decoder to synthesize a novel view at time t. Here, we show some visual comparisons. Our method produces plausible animation of the scene while allowing camera movements, which is achieved by representing and animating the scene in 3D space. Here we show qualitative results. Our framework is flexible and customized. We can achieve controllable animation by providing masks and flow hints. Here we provide more visual results of 3D cinemagraphs. Thank you for watching.
Alright, so what I want to show you is this is research. Because all of you are graduate students, right? And you are doing research. So this is the type of research. They try to find a new method to improve existing, to generate better results than existing method. And, okay, and however, and this is not. Sometimes it is not easy. Okay, so you can see the this research work is done by, so this is Singapore Nanyang Technological University and Adobe, and this is from China, I think. Okay, so what I want to show, this is the hearted research topic of this field. So the paper is one of the 245 papers published for 3D from multi-view and sensors. Okay, it is also belong to the image and video synthesis and generations. I don't know which category they put the papers into, but either one, either first or second. Because it also uses, it generates a 3D video, so it's a video generation. And it is, So let's talk about the real world applications. So I'm sure. So okay, let's see. Which one is QR code? Okay, let me show. So from the 6 images, did you find the QR code here? Okay, so for those students, some students, they don't find the QR code. As you say, how can I help? Okay, so as you say, okay, then how to do it? Let me show you. Okay, sorry, for you, I say you didn't see a QR code, right? So do you know what QR code is? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you know what QR code is? You know? Oh, okay, fine. Sorry, I didn't see you raise your hand. And plate recognition. Do you know? Do you see a plate? Raise your hand. Plate recognition. Okay, fine. So some of them don't know what plate recognition. Okay, so who can explain what is plate recognition for him? Because okay, that's fine. So this is plate recognition. This is plate. And plate registration means there is a plate registration system on our campus. When you get into the front door, so there is a system they can recognize the plate on a vehicle. Usually this car or buses is okay. So this is the plate. Okay. Once the camera see, okay, this is plate, it can automatically show the number and the English character. There is another LED display on the left side. But next time when you pass through the front gate of our campus, take a look at this. And face identity. So this is face identification. So when you see there are several face identity systems on the first floor, on the 11th floor, right? Once you get into the AI center, you can see this device. And OCR means, yes, this OCR, you can recognize those characters through your camera. And defect check. So once you read a button of water, so in the water factory, they use computer vision system to check whether their labels are well put on the button or something else. And the self-driving car, okay, yes, one of my classmates has a Tesla, and he gave me a ride from Taipei to Taichung, okay, and in fact, he turns on the self-driving system, yeah, and so we check all the way. You don't need to control his car. And I asked him, can you turn on the self-driving system when we are not on the highway? He said, no, no way. Only works on highway right now. So in the future, okay, why? What's the reason? The reason is on the highway, there are only cars or trucks or buses. You don't see or expect that there are any pedestrian dogs or something extra. This is an easier scenario you can control. So currently Tesla, his model works on highway, but it cannot work on anywhere. So you can see there is room to improve the system. And in the future, I don't know when, 10 years later or 5 years later, maybe we can, I should say, there are existing self-driving system for bus. It is run running in certain counties in Taiwan, and even in other countries. I'm not sure. In the U.S., I remember the city they allow self-driving taxis, commercially work for people. So this is a very new technology, and I really want to have a self-driving car. It can save me. I can walk when I in my communication. Okay. Other real-world application. So object recognition. So this object recognition. Once you don't know what the flower is, use your camera and the app. You can use the object recognition to say, oh, this is a lily or something else. Okay. And augmented reality. So this who who doesn't know what the game is? If you have no idea, raise your hand. If you have idea what the game is, raise your hand. Oh, good. Most of you know it. Okay. Okay. This is. So what the name of the game is? That's right. So you see, do you see this computer vision system in the app? When you play the game, you need a camera, cell phone, right, or iPad or something, tablet, and then there must be a camera. The camera needs to take a picture of the street or something, and the app or the algorithm need to know what is the surface of the street or the ground, so that it can correctly draw what's the name of the animal. Pikachu or something else. Yeah, just where the Pikachu should be. And then when you throw the ball to the Pikachu, if you do it, if you do it correctly, then the animal will be captured by the ball. And the pose animation this is the Microsoft Xbox Kinect system. It can know what your pose is, and you can play virtual volleyball in a video. And face detection, okay, this is a cell phone, and why face detection is important? I should say, I actually have to say important. Why? How does I should say? Let me think in this way. For some old cameras, they don't have the face detection system. Then what will happen? It means if you want to take a picture and there are some people in the scene, and you take a picture and you found all of their faces are blurred, right? You don't want that picture, certainly, but for certain ways. So face detection system help us. Most people, they can easily finish photography task. And avatar, so this is avatar. So it makes videos, let's say, make communication more interesting. And computational photography. Okay, this example, you take a picture, but you don't like the background. You want to emphasize the foreground, so you can use the computer vision algorithm to separate the foreground and background, and blur the background, so that you highlight the subject in the image. Okay, so this is our textbook. It is written by Richard Zelinsky. Richard Zelinsky is a professor at the University of Washington, United States. And he very kindly shared his book for everybody. You can download it from this link, and it is a PDF version, so you don't need to buy it. But there are also other language versions available. If you don't like read English books, fine, there are Chinese version available. But it is not free available online. You need to purchase it or check our library whether they have this book. Okay. And there are two references books. They are also free available online. The first one is The Deep Learning by Ian Goodfellow. Now, who is he? He is the so you heard about the GAN, right? He invented the GAN. GAN was invented by him. So you can see he is a very important contributor for the computer vision community. Okay. This book is available online, but it is not a PDF version because this book was published by MIT Press, and he signed a contract with MIT Press. He cannot provide a PDF version for the public. Because MIT Press need to make some profit by selling the paper copies. But however, you can make PDF files by yourself. You can download. I did it. I downloaded every chapter of this book, and I used some simple applications like a PDF SAN, so it can easily combine all PDF files into a single file. So it is very convenient for me to read and make comments. And this book is also free available in the PDF version. This is contribution, models, learnings, and inference. But however, this book is slightly old. You see, it was published in 2012. So this important actually innovation or something important event in 2012. What is neural network? AlexNet was published in 2012. So this is very important. In fact, with AlexNet, the computer vision community was shocked. They never thought about neural networks can work so well for computer vision tasks. And so in this book, you cannot find a lot of discussion for neural networks, but it is still a very good reference book for computer vision technology and the knowledge without neural networks. Okay. But however, this is a course, so we still need to talk about the grading. Okay, I plan to assign 4 pieces of homework for you, and there will be a term project because you are graduate students, right? I encourage you to do research. So there is no, I should say, there is no exam, right? No exams for this course. You just need to program your own project. Let me explain what's your own. Okay, and there will be a 5% class participation. Okay, but however, this is because this is the first class for the course. So today we don't need to count about class participation. And I am wondering. I want to know something. I assume you all have experience of programming. So have you? Please tell me if you ever write code a Python program. Let's raise your hand. Python. Okay, only some of you. Okay, C++. Okay, C++ is only 3 of you. And MATLAB. Okay, fine. Oh, so I am wondering. So for those students who never raised your hand, could you tell me about your experience about the programming. So what language do you use? What platforms do you use?
For me, I usually use Java for programming.
Oh, Java, right? Sorry, I forgot Java. Sorry. And for you have any of you have the experience of Java programming? Please raise your hand. Okay, okay. So, okay. So, okay. The next question. You never have any experience of programming? Please raise your hand. Let me know. Okay, fine. So I'm wondering. So if so, then what is your expect for this course? Fine. Maybe you want to learn some knowledge, right? Oh, okay. So, but I'm wondering whether I should adjust the assignment. Let me take it later. Okay, so I want to tell you, this is course capability, right? And there are some existing online full-length course and a free available online. For example, this one, this is taught in Stanford from Fei Li. So have you heard about her name? Fei Li. In Chinese, it's Li Fei. In English, it's Fei Li. Okay, never mind. Have you heard about the ImageNet? Have you heard about this data set, ImageNet? Not yet? You never know about ImageNet? Okay, that's fine. As you said, Fei Li was the professor who developed ImageNet. And ImageNet is a data set, a very huge data set, covers more than 1,000 classes of image. And for each classes, there are a lot of images. Okay. And because of the data set, neural networks show its power. It can achieve a very good accuracy, even better than humans, to recognize different types of objects within an image. And if you are interested in self-driving cars, this course was taught in MIT. It is a very high-class course. And if you want to, I should say, listen to similar course in Taiwan. So this is a course taught by Ming Sun at the National Chih-Yuan University. So all of those existing courses are free, available online. If you have time and if you are interested, even though you want to, even though if you feel the courses, the assignment of this course is too high or too much for you, if you want to withdraw, then you still have the opportunity to learn it by yourself online for free. Right, let's continue. So, okay, UC Berkeley, okay, UC Berkeley, do you know this school, this university? UC Berkeley, University of California at Berkeley. And UIUC, University of Illinois at Urban Champaign, okay. And the Georgia Tech, that's a Georgia Institute of Technology, of course in Georgia. And U Washington is University of Washington, okay. And then National Chih-Yuan University at CGU. So in computer vision, those are the top universities. So their slides are very, very useful. Okay. See, there are only 20 plus students in this classroom, right? But for them, there are more than 100 100 students in a course. So their slides, I think it's better than mine. So, and they cover different topics because they are taught by different lecturers. Every lectures, they have their own specific expertise and research topics. So it's very interesting and useful to read their slides. Although they don't offer the lecture recordings. And so I assume you have some experience of programming languages. But now I wonder what should I do? So let me show my original plan. By your whole one, I want to be familiar with OpenCV. So what is OpenCV? This is a library for computer vision. So CV is computer vision. Open means it's free, and everybody can use it. So if you are familiar with OpenCV, it will be a great tool for you. You can use the library. It covers a lot of methods developed by computer vision researchers. And you need to write the code again because the code is there are existing code already. You just need to call those functions. So this is why I want to stand on the shoulders of giants. Okay. And then computer vision is widely used and free. So you can easily find a lot of books, tutorials, or example code online. And it supports C, C++, Python, Java, MATLAB, and different platforms, Android, Windows, iOS, macOS, Linux. So if you want to take away from the course, this is the first library I want you to be familiar with or get some experience. Okay. And okay, it can do a lot of tasks. So this is something there. So okay, so what I want you to do is create a program project, and you need to use OpenCV in the project. Any kind of project you like, you want, you are interested in, because you are graduate students and you need to write a thesis or dissertation someday. And so I don't restrict the topics that you can do any kind, because you have your own research topics, and try to find try to think OpenCV is a resource of your own thesis topic. So you can do anything, and this is homework. Once you submit your homework, then you will get the grade. So, but however, I want you to present your program. Maybe 1 times 3 minutes to present your. Just use it. Do you remember this? Do you remember you spent around 6 minutes to watch the demo video in the class? Just do like this. You can submit your paper report or electronic report, not paper, electronic to our e-learning system. Or you can submit a video just to explain what you did in the program. Even you can show some demos. But I expect you to orally present your homework 1, 2, 3, 4 in the term project in the class, because I want not only you but also your classmates to learn from your homework and experience. Okay, this is an example of OpenCV. So this is a web page. It's an official document of the OpenCV. And in the official documentary, you can find many example code. So once you take one of the remote and run it on your own computers, then you to find you. It means you know how to use OpenCV and you finish the homework one, but you need to present it. So what do you learn from this whole focus on this? So this is example. If I was a student, then what I will do? Okay, I want to explain what is your motivation. Why do you choose the project for your homework one? For example, my children, they watch a lot of cartoon TV channel, cartoon program, and you know there are a lot of commercials within the programs like television app, and I want to use OpenCV to detect which time slots is TV commercial and which is cartoon. So if my program detect, okay, this is commercial, then I can turn off the TV so that my children will not spend their time on those TV commercials. So this is application. And so what will be the technical challenges and how you solve it? But you have the idea, you have the motivation, and you have the OpenCV library, how to use it to finish the task, and how accurate is your detection accuracy. So I want to share this experience with your classmates. Okay. And the second homework is I hope you can use camera. Because some images are not camera. So the camera means this capture device or is a connection from image and the real world. So for example, what images are not captured from camera? For example, most cartoon, they are not captured. They are graphic results, or manga meaning comics. They are hand drawn images, not the real image taken from the real world. So in the second project, I want you to use camera or present images or videos or captured by camera to do anything you want. Okay. So, and there are many different kinds of cameras. They can sense visible light, infrared camera, or thermal camera, or depth camera. Depth camera, for example, Microsoft Xbox Kinect is a depth camera. It tells you the depth of the objects. And a handheld camera, wearable camera, fixed camera, or handheld zoom camera. It means you can tune any angles you want. It's usually the surveillance camera. And the mobile camera. Also, everybody has a cell phone, and there is at least one camera on your cell phone. So okay. And that's more bigger stereo cameras, long exposure camera, and high-speed camera. So where you can find a high-speed camera? Usually on the highway. There are a lot of high-speed camera. They are scanning the plates of your cars, right? But it's not so easy to find it as a commercial product, but they exist. Okay. If you can get the data, fine. Okay. So there are micro lenses, fish eyes, and omnidirectional camera. So yeah, a lot of types of cameras. Any camera, fine. Any image, if they are or videos captured by camera, that's fine. You can use it for your homework too. And be careful. Camera sometimes is very intrusive. Don't hurt or harm anybody. Okay. And like homework one, your grade will depend on whether you submit the homework. So once you submit the homework, you will get your grade. But you need to present what I learned, what I do. So it's still very easy for you to find a free online tutorial to finish homework too. Even you can find it through YouTube or somewhere, or even OpenCV as the example how to use camera. But be careful. Not only camera, any kind of images or videos captured by camera is fine. It is still fine. Okay. Then I want to present your results. Okay. And for this example, okay, this is a video taken by a camera, right? And it's very dangerous for those pedestrians. Right? If you can. So if I was a student, then what I want to do is I want to install a camera in my car close to the A pillar so that I can capture some videos. If there is a pedestrian, then my system will allow me so that I will not hit those pedestrians. But of course, you can imagine many car makers, they are developing their own system like this. So I don't expect you to compete with them. This is just for homework. I just want to think a few ideas for your own, because you are going to write your own thesis or do your own research project. How to use camera or videos, images captured by camera how to use them for your homework and for your own research project or topics. And the third one is neural network. Because neural networks are so important for computer vision today. So if you take this course, I want to gain some experience about the neural networks. Again, they are very easy to find from books, tutorials, or even there are some existing templates. You can try any neural networks you like, you are interested in. And this is simple. This is the StyleGAN V1. It is a paper published in 2019 by NVIDIA. So you know, okay. So this is the input image, and this is the reference image. They can generate those images. So this input, this reference, so this is the result. Very realistic. So this is the input, the hit, and this is reference. They can generate this result. It's perfect. And you can see the pose is the same as the input image, but the color of the hairs, the color of the skin are those of the reference image. And the network is publicly available online. If you are interested in, you can download the code from GitHub and train it by yourself. Remember, to train, not just to use it, to train it. I want to get, and in our course, I will talk about the neural networks around, I think, week 6 or week 8 following. Okay. And let me show you some interesting thing. Okay, so this is StyleGAN V1 version 1. And the left side is StyleGAN version 2. And the right hand side is the StyleGAN version 3. All of those codes are available, and there are significant improvement. So version 2, you can find some defects here. Okay. See, can you see the defect? Where is mine? Can you see some defect here? And in version 3, they find a way to solve the problem. So neural networks are keep, I should say, evolve by itself. And every few years, and there are new networks. They perform better than the existing ones. Okay. So it's up to you. If you have a lot, if you are familiar with programming of neural networks, you can find some networks easy to train. AlexNet is a very simple one. You just recognize one character from 0 to 9. And if you are very efficient, then you can try the very challenging networks. It's up to you. Once you submit your homework, you can get a grade. I don't want to frustrate you. I just want to get the experience. Understand? Oh, very right. By the way, if you want to train networks, you need data. You also need algorithm and computational resources. Data are available online for free from many sites. Do you heard about the Kagos? Kagos is an online website. Right? They offer a lot of kind of data. And I'm going to get one website called Happy Face. Okay, they also provide data if you want. Or you can just download data from the providers. Some researchers, they kindly provide their results. So it's up to you what topics you are interested in. Okay? An algorithm, you don't want to invent a new algorithm. You just need to try the algorithm, it's fine. And the computational resources. So most of them are for laptop, but usually, if you want to train networks and it's not a small network, then you usually need a GPUs. And our AI center provides every student the account to use their GPUs. So I hope you should not need to worry about the computational resources. Okay. But however, if you have your own gaming laptop or your gaming desktop, then you can download the local version. And sometimes it is convenient for you to revise your code or use your own data. And second, I want to present your results. And the first homework is to you generate images from text. So this is a very interesting topic. And the text to images, it includes a lot of computer vision technologies. Okay. So this is a very new topic. Okay. Even when I was a student, I never heard about it. So it's very, I should say, a good, I should say, an interesting task for you to get the experience of this task. Okay, there are many models and platforms, and those platforms are supported by many companies, in particular new companies and big companies. And there are even a version stable diffusion. It can be installed locally. You no longer need to connect to the web cloud. And there are a lot of benefits. I will talk about it later. Okay. So for homework 4, expect you to create an image. And I want to show your image in your presentation in this plan. What you found, because there are different platforms, right? And you should find the platform, some of them cannot do the test well. It's up to your parts, I mean the text you give to the system. And there are many options you can take. For example, what training data you want to use, what models you want to use, etc. So this is an open question. Given those prompts or those texts, what image you will get. And in these courses, I will explain how it works, and then you can have the first-hand experience. Then it will help you know what I'm talking about. Okay? So diffusion model or text-to-image is still a very hard topic for computer vision. So it belongs to the two fields, image and video synthesis and generation, and visual language and reasoning. So, these are the benefits of local installation. You can try as many times as possible. For other platforms, for example, Midjourney and Firefly and Canva, there are free tries for a few times, but after the free tries, or if you run out of those points, you need to pay for it. So this is up to you if you want or not. And some of them are almost free. Stable diffusion is totally free. You can download the installation application installation file into your laptop or desktop and run it as many times as possible. And there's another benefit. If you install a stable diffusion, then there is no banned prompt. Because for safety, okay, or even for for those companies, they want to protect their users. They ban some prompt. They disencourage sexual violence, racial discrimination, etc. So, however, if you install the two models locally, then you can do anything you want. You can try anything. And there are many engineering options. So I should say, stable diffusion installed locally. So you can become a researcher. You can do anything, but it is not so convenient, and it is hard to control. So it's really up to you. If you just want to try it, you can try those online platforms. It's very easy, just giving them. And some of the platforms even support non-English languages. So it's very convenient if you don't know how to use the precise and accurate English prompts. And then also, again, there are a lot of tutorials. You can find many teaching videos from YouTube or somewhere to let you know how to use it. So it is an opportunity to learn by yourself. Even though there are some videos or are talking in your native language. And however, the pros of local installation is you need at least 8 GB video RAM. For some of you, it is not so easy to find so much VRAM in your desktop or laptop. But however, the AI Research Center will support you because they have 6 GPU clusters, and each of them have 8 GPU cards, and they are high-level GPU cards. So I'm not sure whether we have a TA in this course. If there is a TA, then the TA will create the accounts for you. So everybody will have your own account to use the GPUs of the AI center. Okay, so I also, again, I want to inspect. So, okay, this is the term project. So for homework 1, 2, 3, 4, you don't need to do any research. You just need to use it or apply existing method. But the whole for term project, because you are graduate students, that expect you to do some research. So for homeworks, you need to do it by yourself, individually. But for the term project, you can build up a team. At the most 5 people a team. Okay, you can collaborate to. So today is 7, right? So 3 weeks later, I want to receive your list of the teams. And then 1 week later, I want to receive your proposal for your term project. And 1 week later, you need to do project pitch. The project pitch means you need to present your plan for the term project. Why you want to do this term project? And what is your expectation? And how will you do the term project? So this means pitch. You assume you want to sell your project to your boss in the future, or you want to use the project to convince some fund providers. And in the midterm week, I expect you to read the report about your progress. And the final project presentation will be mid-December, and 1 week later, I want to receive your written report because I need to grade. I need to give you the final grade. This is the calendar. Okay, so this is your actions. So 3 weeks later, I expect to receive your homework 1, and I want to present your homework 1. 3 weeks later. So 3 weeks later, I think it should be enough for you, right? And for the term project, any kind of idea you can use. It's up to you, up to your teams, I should say. Okay. Or you discuss with if you have team members, discuss with them. What do you have some common interest, or do you want to collaborate to solve certain problems? If the problem is related to all of you, any topic is fine. However, because this is a research, so the topic must be okay. If it is an existing work, then you need to check the reproducibility, or could you check the generalizability of other data? So it is usually an attempt for doing research. Okay, you need to check what is the state of art of what is the state of art method for the task, and how to outperform those state of art method. Or you can try to do some innovation in application. You can find an existing method and try to do another task and see the results. Or you can improve existing algorithms. So do you have any question about this restriction? No? Okay, fine. Okay, so that is the requirement for the class. So now we are going to the knowledge of computer vision. Okay, so in the beginning, I want to show you how imaging is generated or formed. So image. So I use film because film has been used for photography for so many decades, so it's easier to understand. If you have object, in this case it's a tree, and there are a lot of light beams. It will emit from the object to the film. Okay. Then you will. So in this case, your film will receive light beams from different points, so you cannot get a clear image. The solution is easier if you have a barrier between the object and the film, and then there is a small hole on the barrier, so you control the direction of those light beams, okay? And then you can generate you can generate images on the film. Okay, so for example, this window. So this is called pinhole camera. It means you just use a small pin to allow certain light rays through the pin to form your image on a plane. Okay, and so there are some terms. So the focal length means the distance between the pin to your image plane. And okay, so there are examples like this. This is the camera obscura. Is the photo type of pinhole camera. So this is simple. If they have a wall here and through the small hole, they can see the scene on it, but it is upside down. And then this is the real case. And this phenomenon has been found 2,000 years ago in, for example, in the Chinese book. Okay, this is the Chinese version, and this is the English version. The sentences describe the same thing. It's a pinhole camera. And okay, what is the application? In the version, for example, you can in this figure you can see there is a guy. He's trying to use his pencil to draw something on the paper, and the paper, okay, is the image of certain object in a long distance. So in everyday, I should say, if there is an eclipse in the sky, then the trees, the leaves, they form many pinhole camera. So if you see the shadow on the ground, you will see the same shapes because those the shape of the sun currently is become not the circle, it is the certain shape, and it will show it on your ground. So the first photography, also this is history. So just take a quick look. In 1826, okay, there are some films, but it takes 8 hours to get the image. Now you just take your cell phone and click. You just only need maybe 0.1 second. You can get the image. So this is the improvement. And the image is still available in UT also. It is university. Okay, so this is the first image taken to show the old Paris. So, but because this is a history event, so we will go through it quickly. So if you are interested about the pinhole camera, there is a video available in YouTube. You can click the video and see how they explain the history and the the history and then the physical property of a pinhole camera. Okay. And in the word geometry, so you see, okay, for computer vision, we want to ask a few questions. Okay, so there are 3 balls here you can see. So which ball is closer? For human, it's easy, right? Most of us will see, okay, the brown ball is closer to the camera. But for computer, how to solve the problem? And okay, there are several people here. So how tall is this woman? Okay, this woman, the subject. We want to estimate it from an image. So, and how high is the camera? Okay. Okay. So any questions we need to want to answer. And okay, so so image it is, as we mentioned. So image, the difference between image and the graphics. It is graphics is to generate image from model, in particular 3D models. And for image, we check so this is from 3D worlds. If we have world vision or computer camera system, it will catch those 3D worlds to form an image. But this is so you can see this is a process of projection, but the projection can be very tricky. So you see, okay, this is a image, right? And then somebody is standing on top of the globe. But again, you see, this is the result of projection. In fact, this is the drawing on the ground. If you stand at the correct position, it looks like a globe. And so, in the projective geometry, what lost? Who's taller? Compare with this person and this person, who's taller? It's not so easy to answer because it is the result of projection, and the information of length and the area was lost in the 2D image plane. So usually we want to find some clues to answer the question. For example, so another question. So in addition to length, the information of angles is also lost in the 2D plane. But we can find some parallel lines in the image, so it would be useful clue to solve the problem. For example, so this is the term vanishing point. Okay, vanishing point in this image, the vanishing point is here. Okay. You see there, one rail or another rail. Okay, they gradually converge at a point. So that is the vanishing point. And in the real world, there are many vanishing points. So for those parallel lines, their vanishing point is here. But from another side, their vanishing point is somewhere out of the slide. And for those pillars, their vanishing point is far, far away in the sky. So what's the reason? The reason is if you have a line in the 3D world and you project those points into an image plane, then that image plane will gradually go to a vanishing point. So if you have 2 parallel lines, they will converge to the same point. So this is the vanishing point. And those vanishing point forms a vanishing line. So there is okay. So this gives us some perspective cues. For example, there are many parallel lines in the image. Here, here, here. Okay. So take a look of the two monsters. Which is the bigger one? Usually we will ask the, do you see this is the bigger one? Do you have the feeling? I mean, okay, so if you measure their height in the image, they are the same. The two monsters are identically the same. But visually, I feel the monster is bigger than this one. Because this is the percent cube. And this is another example. Okay, so for the three people, they are totally the same. But the perspective I will feel, oh, this is taller, and this is shorter. And so, let's take a question. So, you know there is for pinhole camera, there is a hole, right? So how large or how small should be the hole? If you use a large hole, what will be the result? If you say, for example, the hole is 2 millimeters, then this is the result. It's blurred. Why? Because if your hole is large, then for a point, many light rays will be targeted to the same point, so it will be blurred. Okay. We reduce the size of the pinhole. Okay. This looks our image looks more clear, so it's good. But however, if you further reduce the size of pinhole, then another problem occurs. You get the blurred image again. What's the reason? The reason is because light is a wave. There are diffraction. So this is diffraction. This is light, but it's through a very small, I should say, hole or. Okay, so you see the light go to different directions because there are many types of waves, different nanometers contained in a single beam. So, and another problem is if we use a very small pinhole of the camera, then it will be difficult to us to gather sufficient beam rays. So the solution is easy. We use a lens. A lens can control the direction of light, so that we can let those ray beams to project to the same point on the film, so it will help us to get a clear image without sufficient light ray input. Okay. So, okay, we usually add the captures depicted in front or after the capture. Okay, and so there are some terms. So we assume the lens will have a point that all parallel beams will converge to it. So, but however, this is just an assumption. It's easier for us to calculate some mathematical relations between those beams. In fact, they are not so simple. So there are some terms, for example, focal point in this. This is the point, or input parallel line beams will converge. Okay, and if you have camera, or especially the old camera, this term for S number. F numbers mean the ratio of the focal length and the diameter of the aperture. So if the F number is small, it means for you open the aperture, it make it very large. If the F number is large, you reduce the length. The size of aperture very small because this is a ratio. And what is the result? The result is if you use a large focal length, F number, then okay, you usually can reduce but your background object usually will be blurred. And if you use a large F number, then you will see clear background. So that's the reason. If you have a high-end class, the DSLR camera or something like that, you can easily take a blurred background. But once you use cell phone, because you see, this is the aperture, all the blades of the camera, mechanical system. Right? But in your cell phone, did you see this device? No, right? But because your cell phone is so small, those manufacturers have no way to install such a blade system on your device. Actually, some manufacturers did try it, but they are not successful. Users want to pay for it. Okay, so that's the reason why they have their own solutions for Apple, for some other Samsung or something else. They either use dual camera to estimate the depth, or they use computer vision methods to detect what is the subject and what is background, and then blur the background, so that they can generate decent photos. And for human, this is our eye and see the structure. We have a lens. Okay, the lens can adjust the focal length, and we have pupil. The pupil, in fact, is the aperture. And the aperture is controlled by iris. So our human eyes is very similar to a camera, and the field is the retina. On the retina, there are 4 types of cells. The raw type, it is sensitive to brightness, but it doesn't work for color. And for cone cells, there are 3 different types of cone cells: long, short, and medium. Their responsibility for different life wavelengths. Right now, this is the first class for the course. Do you have any question? Okay, if no, then let's stop here, and we'll see you next week.